with the next match coming up between 3-Headed Monkey and Chillfaction. We know 3-Headed Monkey. That's a name that we recognize and that we know very well.
Yep, King Richard and crew, they've been holding it down. They've been in multiple tournaments in the past. Definitely done some solo queue with them in the past as well. Just all around great guys. They used to do a lot of streaming. I'm not entirely too sure what's the current scene on that, but I definitely know, King Richard, he's a name. He's been around forever. Very interested to see what they bring here in the round of 64.
Well, I don't think that it'll be anything short of spectacularness because we know what they do. They're a very high-quality team with lots of good teamwork, and they know how to execute. So with all that in mind, they should have some interesting insight as to what kind of game they're playing, what the metagame is like. And
you said earlier on when we talked about 3-Headed Monkey, the people that we've seen before here in the tournaments, Froggy G.
Yes.
Do you think we're going to see a Froggy G?
With King Richard on the team, that is a knot he is extremely comfortable with. I'd be willing to bet good money on it.
It would have to be a ban, I think, to keep him off of it right now.
Yeah, I think so too. Like he really likes it, or a team makeup thing. If they change up the makeup, then.
But now, of course, they do know this is the map. It's going to be Aguilon. Everybody's picking for Aguilon. And so far, we've seen some big wombos. We've seen now split push, and it's come out, to varying degrees of effectiveness. But this game, 3-Headed Monkeys versus Chill, coming in for Aguilon. What kind of team comps are we actually going to see here?
Well, I think that right now Burst is high on the list of things, and it seems like that's the story of the day. On Chillfaction, we've got Leon, Scree, and Lone Star. On 3-Headed Monkey, we've got Coco, Skoldir, and Frog. Now, Froggy G. But on top of that, 3-Headed going with a time-tested and true combination of throw into terrible, terrible, horrible things like Blaze and Frog. Chillfaction going for more of a split pushy and zoning kind of team makeup between Scree and his totems and his saw blades and Lone Star and his bulls and his dynamite and Leon just being Leon. Like, they have a lot of capacity to punish mistakes and to make it very difficult for the other team to move in. Whereas 3-Headed, they just need the Skoldir to get off one good throw, and that's a good team fight for them. So this could go either way, but 3-Headed heavy on burst and gank, and Chillfaction heavy on split push and zoning. So this will be a very interesting game to see what happens. We're going to go live with this.
I'm a little curious about the Coco in this one, because last time we saw damage immediately, as we were going to jump into the game here. But, 3-Headed Monkeys. Oh, 3-Headed with the Coco. Again, like King Richard, I think it's Rourke with them as well. Yeah,
Rourke on the Skoldir, and we've got Typhlosion
yes.
on the Coco. On the
All
red
names
team,
that we see.
We've got Firefly on the Leon. We've got Mr. Nagel on the Lone Star, and we've got Sir Noggs on the Scree. A little bit of poke coming out there for Rourke, but that seems to be all that's going to happen there. Rourke probably just going to walk it off as the innate region that every knot has kicks in here.
I like how they did add that base region, once upon a time ago. Was not always the case. But, again, we have a lot of displacement ready to go here with the Coco, with the Skoldir. Oh, what a bull. That's actually going to put Rourke out of commission, but it's not going to be enough to keep Mr. Niggle alive as he does drop for the first. And Rourke just goes right back to it. Comes on back down. It's going to be those big super punches and the throws, looking for the big burst. And so far, the team already off to a good start.
Absolutely. Rourke being very aggressive with this top hidden area there as he uses his Earthquake to come down very quickly and surprise people with a throw out of nowhere. Firefly getting a tongue off onto King Richard, but King Richard just going to walk it off as well, going to go back and pick up some creeps. Rourke trying to look for a throw, but he's not going to find it because the totem just gets in the way. Typhlosion looking to get out of here, and he's going to be just fine as Rourke backs him up with a punch or two.
Now, something that really warms our heart here, 5 out of 6 knots do go with their base abilities. It's actually going to be the tongue and the boots for the Leon, for Firefly there. But everyone else, look at that, just almost a thing of beauty. 2 each. No piggy banks either here. It's going to be in for the long haul.
Absolutely. And I think that 3-Headed Monkey have always been against solo items. They've never really liked them. They've always enjoyed the idea of being able to play to your fullest with all the abilities you possibly can. And I think that this, so far, reflects their game philosophy to a T. Rourke looking to find something with those punches, but he needs to be super careful. Dash coming in, King Richard doing some damage. Nagel probably going to get away, though, and Rourke trying to find a kill on Firefly, but he's going to be pretty low himself and back off.
Yeah, but they're abusing the big base hit point pool here of Rourke. He can do those body blocks. He can soak up a lot of those turret shots to let the ranged people in the back, to let those tongues actually get in range. Nice ball there. It's actually going to stomp out the bull from Typhlosion, and now Nagel's going to be on the retreat a little. Invis is up. Both teams know it. Not
Firefly taking some damage. He doesn't end up taking that NATO tick, though, to end off things. So he just barely survives. That was super close. Like, I was not expecting that to happen the way it did.
That desperation ball there from Typhlosion, had Nago actually not accounted for it, would have dropped right into it for another kill. But did see it, did actually jump out, and vertical movement up against balls that move more horizontal is definitely the bane. It's really easy for some floaty characters or the Lone Star with the triple jump to kind of avoid those.
Absolutely. Coco's going to have a really hard time trying to kill the Lone Star and the Scree, because the Scree can move incredibly just erratically thanks to his ability to float. But the Leon, probably their best bet, but again, he's got Invis. So all three of them a little bit difficult to Lightning Ball should they use their abilities appropriately. What they need to be more careful of is this Skoldir for sure. If that Skoldir ever gets a hold on them, that's going to be the game ender for them.
Yeah. Oh, Firefly's actually going to be dropping King Richard with the frog. Froggy G doing the things that he does. It is going to be another kill for them. But, oh, Rourke going to be low. That is going to be the end of Nago. Nice totem and the Saw Blade, but it's not going to be enough to actually return any kills. And now Nogs is kind of left to his own devices for a 1-on-3 defense.
Which is really unfortunate, because Scree, he does do a decent amount of damage with his Saw Blade to creeps, but he might get caught out here in a 2v1 sandwich. No dice. The
really
throw
nice
almost hitting, but it's not going to be quite enough. Rourke going to pick up that HP and go right back to doing what he do.
I'm going to give Nogs props for that. That was actually a really nice escape.
It was an exceptionally nice escape. He managed to put out that totem and then jumped at exactly the right time to avoid being thrown. That was very good movement out of Nogs to be able to survive that. Using Scree's float to a really good effect as well, I might add.
I was going to say, the totem on this, there are some areas that it's going to be complete blockage, and then, of course, you got the Saw Blade, and I have to see if that actually comes into effect here, as Nagel's going to be the big target. He's going to drop really low. Same here with the Firefly. Not really trading out those hit points very well, but Nogs did get tossed, and that's going to be the collapse, as he does drop for the 4th kill to 3-Headed Monkeys.
3-Headed Monkeys doing a really good job of staying on top of them in terms of their solar and everything. At this point, I'd almost be tempted, if I were on the red team right now, if I were on their side of things, I'd be thinking, you know what, mid-game piggy bank.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that was really interestingly well played. He was invisible, and he should have been shot by the turret, but what ended up happening is that the droids went with him, and the turret shot the droids, but he was in front of them, and he ended up dying for it. That was really cool. I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah, neither did the Leon, as it turned out. So Richard's going to visit into this bottom lane. They are ensuring that both lanes are pushing. Getting that default map pressure is going to keep the red team on their toes. But, again, that totem can come in and do some nice blockage, but it is going to be return blockage with the bigger character model of Rourke and the stuns with those punches and the throws. They just basically, that was a spawn death, and now we're back to spawn here for our poor little Scree.
Yeah, and Scree doing the best he can. He's the only one that's picked up additional items, really. Firefly picking up stealth at long last, so he's doing pretty well on that front. King Richard, he's picked up Mutant Ninja Worm, so that's a lot of extra burst, especially if you use it properly. And Hammer Pants, that's a lot of damage. Snarequake coming out for Rourke. Rourke's going to go ahead and put out the Earthquake. It's not going to hit anybody. He's punching away for his life here. Firefly taking a lot of damage. Dash Nado's going to end up killing him. Mr. Nagel going to run away, and he barely survives the Lightning Ball. 7-0. Oh, but Richard looking for it. He gets it. That's going to be a dash into a Ninja Worm shot, and that's going to kill him. Rourke getting the throw off onto Mr. Nogs. Sir Nogs going to take a lot of damage, and he's going to end up going down to a dash out of King Richard. So a 3-member team wipe this early in the game, 6 minutes into the game for 3-Headed Monkey. 3-Headed Monkey looking extremely dominant in this best-of-1 game.
I would definitely say that they're amongst the favorites. They definitely have the history. They got old relics here of the scene, but they're back in pretty top form here. Round of 64, 9-0, hasn't even given up a kill. And based upon this kind of a match, I'd say we're probably going to see them in the 32. I
believe that they are definitely going to go to the 32 if they keep up this level of play. But there are a couple of things that the red team here can definitely do. Chillfaction just needs to put together a little bit more damage and to play a little bit more cautiously. They need to be able to get the frog, who gets another kill, to another double. Wow, a double kill. As I was saying, they need to play a bit more defensive and force the red team to commit. So close. King Richard, he's proving very difficult to kill despite his aggressive posture.
And again, with this new kind of meta, with the big Wamba, with the big burst, Frog is an excellent character to pick here because he's very mobile, he's very quick, he can do the split push, he can collapse for kills, and they are playing this, again, extremely well. Rourke is always in the front. He gets off these throws. He's able to tank out a lot of these turrets, and that sets up very nicely for the big combos of the Typhlosion Ball, who has built out damage, as well as the Froggy G and doing, the Froggy G things.
Nagel almost gets punched, but he's going to end up surviving. The top tower going down in favor of 3-Headed Monkey, so they're doing pretty well. Mr. Sir Nogs trying to get away. He's going to survive. Really well-placed Totem. Totem is a very brutally strong ability at base level if you use it properly, and Sir Nogs really doing an excellent job with it. It's just unfortunate that it's not seeming to be enough to really stop the Skoldir and the Frog from doing what they're doing right now.
Yeah, having that Skoldir front line, like, he just has a lot of hit points, and he just, he scales up over time as well. Of course, he can also go into the pills. He does have one rank them already, and again, like, he's just going to be this big wall that Red has to go through, so low on the hit points, but he can't land the stun punch, and it's going to be up to the ball, and the ball will actually find Firefly there on that ledge.
That was an unfortunate place to teleport. The Coco Ball being able to pass through any obstacle in the terrain, able to pick up the kill there. We got a bull coming out that's trying to save Mr. Nagel.
Oh, and
Mr.
again.
Nagel is going to go down to another well-placed lightning ball of Typhlosion. And 3-headed Monkey now going on this bottom turret. That totem actually proving to be very useful for Sir Nog's getaway rather than a trapping mechanism against the tower. So well played by him, even if it was a little bit by accident there.
Might have been a little bit by accident, but it was definitely a blessing in disguise. Nogs will get out. He won't die. We do got the Lone Star. He just fell from the drop pod. But if you're looking at the top mid here, 13-0 on this best of one. You got to put your best foot forward. 3-headed Monkeys really bringing the pain. But the solar difference is now in a factor of 2 between the teams.
And that's a really dominating amount at this point in time in the game. Typhlosion putting out a lot of pressure. Sir Nog's taking a lot of damage as well as he tries his best to run away, and he will succeed. Firefly now taking a dash, a throw, and another couple of punches to the face. Sir Nog's now invisible, and he needs to probably stay that way if he decides that he wants to live.
I don't think he can 1v1 anybody at this point. I mean, when you're down 14-0, the level difference is just going to be astronomical at this point. And as well, the power difference of the items. So Nogs with the invis, sure, it's a great deny to 3-headed Monkeys, but he's not going to be able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and denying the invisibility is still extremely important against the team with a Skoldir on it, so that was well played by him. But unfortunately, it's not Chillfaction's game right now. They are having a very difficult time, and it's a very massive difference in terms of solar and in terms of everything else. Lots of damage coming out on Firefly as he gets dashed, NATO'd. He's going to end up getting away, but Sir Nog's, on the other hand, might end up getting picked off as Skoldir is now chasing him as hard as he can. Totem currently in the way as the totem
not gonna live.
The totem gets punched all the way down. Sir Nog's gets thrown into the turret. Coco coming in, and the turret ends up taking the kill. Typhlosion probably calling out his turret for kill stealing, but whatever. Long story short, Sir Nog's gets chased down and he dies. Skoldir doing a really good job of staying on top of him.
Typhlosion with the creep deny there as well. Gets some hit points, gets some cash as well as denies it from the opponents. Nog should have actually taken the high road out of that one. Might not have been a guaranteed kill, but at the same time, it would have been better than getting tossed there into that turret. That snare on the Earthquake is just proven to be brutal as Typhlosion takes home another kill on the immobile Leon because of it.
And 3-headed Monkey now proving to be awesome as they take their 17th kill. This is not a game that Chillfaction can come back from, I don't think, at all. But you know what? Kudos to them. They're sticking in it. They're not raging. They're keeping on playing anyway. Sir Nog's doing his best to deny resources where he can, picking up health packs, going for creeps, juking really well, but unfortunately meets up with the Skoldir. I'm not sure. He could have probably just stayed up there and done his best to just live long enough to survive and annoy them. But
he was out of tricks at that point.
Yeah, he was definitely out of tricks. But that's the one thing, all things considered, the red team has been playing relatively well. Just 3-headed Monkey, they're a very well-known team. They are obviously incredibly skilled, and they have not been easy on Chillfaction at all. Sir Nog's proving to be a very crafty player, but it's just not enough too.
I'm liking the build out of the Coco here as well. I mean, double into the ball damage. We got the base abilities, and then triple into the ball damage, and then the Chuck's board, and it's just really showing here with another kill going the way of the Coco as well. That's a double cleanup, and now it's basically again just down to the Scree, who's kind of camping out by his core. He's not very interested in leaving the confines of his base as of yet, or well, maybe he shouldn't have been.
Well, he tried to go for
the ball.
Oh, he didn't see the lightning ball, and he ends up getting picked off. That might have been a decent time for Sawblade. But Sir Nog's not picking up Sawblade. Granted, it's a little bit hard to do that when you're losing solar a lot. With the recent
not even 800 at this point.
Oh, yeah. Well, with the recent-ish changes to how solar is won or lost based off of kills, they have lost an unbelievably large amount of solar to a lot of different things. And wow,
Firefly.
Typhlosion trying to go for it. Firefly looking for that kill, but he's just... Is he going to be able to find it? No.
Hammer Pants.
Hammer Pants and
hammer
full
jam.
damage, almost full damage dash. He's just missing another 15 damage, and that King Richard dash is going to be unbelievably painful. That was almost their first kill, but unfortunately the awesome is not broken. And Sir Nog's got the invis, as usual, denying resources as best as he can. He pops out of the invis, though. I'm not sure if that was a bright idea.
Yeah, he auto-attacked.
Yeah, and I don't really know why. Sir Nog's going in for the poke. He's just harassing Rourke at this point, and that might have been a silly move.
Man.
Punch to the face. And,
Where'd the Coco go?
Yeah.
Oh, Coco's up top. They're chasing out the Lone Star.
Yep, but Mr. Nagel going to... dash, NATO, dead. And the bull's not going to do anything on it. It was a decent bull, but it was just too little too late, unfortunately. And 3-headed monkey going in for this top turret now, making sure that this goes down. Firefly and Mr. Nagel looking for an opportunity here. They push them against the turret. Not going to matter, though. Typhlosion gets off the ball. And Firefly
down.
Firefly tries to come out of invis, but he might not have wanted to. And he's going to end up surviving. And now it's the core's turn to take some serious damage. It's Typhlosion and King Richard. King Richard now has Thornfish, and Coco has some damage on her auto attack. They're going for this turret. They're going for the core.
Yeah, they are. I mean, at this point, they have very little to fear from the team on Chillfaction, as they have not gotten a single kill. We're at a faction of 3. Sorry, at a ratio of 3 there for the Solar, and it's just 3-headed monkeys. They know how to play this game. They've been around the block. They know what's up, and they were able to take home that kill very convincingly here in the round of 64.
Convincingly is an understatement. Unfortunately for Chillfaction,
dominant.
Dominant.
I'm trying to think of other words here.
Well, they did awesome. The game said that they were awesome.
All right, where's the caster awesome music? Like, where was my awesome music?
I wanted the awesome
I
music
wanted
too.
yeah. It's good music. That is one big thing about this game. Even after years of playing it, you never get tired of the music.
Sonic Picnic did an excellent job with the music in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you have it. 3-headed monkey taking this first round in the 64 bracket, 25-0. They just started killing and kept on going. What do you think that Chillfaction could have done to maybe change that? Like, do you think they should have picked up different abilities, or?
Well, I'm just looking at them here. It's just like, I mean, they had all their base abilities, so that was a really good start. But then early game, it's just, if you let the frog do, the froggy kind of things, he does terrible, terrible things, as you said, on the back of a Scolder. So if you see a Scolder coming for you, just back off. You got a little bit of range with the Lone Star. You can always tongue him into a tower. You got Scree with his auto attacks. Like, they are just really annoying to deal with on general. And if the Scolder gets too far forward, put the turret behind him, or sorry, put the totem behind him, and then just kind of go to town with him. But we didn't really see a lot of offensive turrets, offensive totems. We didn't really see any kind of big tongues into the turrets with the Leon. We had some pretty good bulls coming out, though, from the Lone Star, but just lack of capitalization. So it might actually just be more of a fundamental just team communication. They could not just be that comfortable with each other yet.
I think that that's definitely a part of it. The strategy that they went with might not have worked out as well as they would have liked. No. Maybe they should have waited for 3-headed monkey to come in. But on top of that, the item builds are what little that they have.
800
anyway.
solar after 13 minutes. It's
when you die,
you can't really analyze that, sir.
Well, yeah, you lose 40 solar every time you die, and you can only pick up like 32 every time you drop down. So.
-8 at best.
Yeah, right, and Scree's Saw Blade, I think, is the one thing that I was really missing there. They had no Saw Blade damage. He started going to left click, and I'm not sure if that was the right move to make against that team.
It was a mobile team. The Coco's very mobile, the Froggy's very mobile, and that Saw Blade is not. Like, at best, you could put it at choke points. At best.
Yeah,
or just clean up the creeps with him.
And if you decide to double click it, it's a decent amount of burst. But that game ended. 3-headed monkey proving to be awesome.
Indeed.
And they will continue on in the very first qualifier of the Awesome Cup tournament.
So coming up next, we do have another round of 64. It is in the process. We're going to get this rolling for you here, guys. So, our next match, all of this, it is the Alienware Awesome Cup. And it is, of course, being powered out by Alienware. And, they've been putting up a really good amount of cash prizes. We got, of course, our first place is going to take home a combine of 2,835. That's a little bit of cash, but it's also the new Alienware Alphas, and that comes with 15 copies of Awesome Knots. If you guys haven't heard about this, look it up. Go to the Alienware website, because these Alienware Alphas are looking fine, and we're going to give away 3 of them, of course, to the top team here at the end of it all, at the end of January. Second place does go home with 900, as well as some Awesome Knots and some skin bundles, which means that you can look good while you're playing this game. Third and fourth to 8th do take home some cash as well. Everyone as well that has signed up is also going to go home with Teddy Ayla. So if you don't have the Teddy Bear Ayla skin, you do now. That's a little bit of a thank you from us to you for your participation here. And of course, everything here, Alienware. It's been a fantastic start to the tournament. We're looking forward to the rest of the matches today, the qualifier tomorrow, of course, everything in January. And when we return, again, we will continue into the round of 64. So don't go anywhere.